Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. Let me share this. First time. I don't think I ever introduced myself. You guys are tuning in for the first time. My name is Tara Darnley, and I'm the co-founder of Dreams Inspire Reality, and also the co-founder of Darling & Co., a lifestyle baby brand that simplifies parenting by creating innovative products for babies that saves parents time, money, and your sanity. And for Dreams Inspire Reality, we host a podcast along with our services of helping people do various things. Come on in, we'll be talking about pitching your business, how to win free cash. So come on in, share this out, and I'll give you guys a few moments to come on in. Right now, for some reason, I can't see any of your comments or anything. So I'm just going to assume you guys are on. So we are going to be talking all about pitching your brand, how to win free money. And I have my phone today with my notes so I don't just go off topic. So the first thing for you guys that have no idea about pitching, what is pitching? What does that mean? Pitching my brand, entering pitching competition. Well, it's quite simple. There are various organizations, various entities that hold pitch competitions for new and upcoming businesses. It could be in the starter stage, it could be a well-established business. It all depends, but there are several organizations out there that hold pitch competitions, and you can enter these pitch competitions to easily win funding for your business. And the great thing about most pitch competition is that there is no equity tied to these pitch competition. What that means is they're not asking for a percentage of your company. Some will, it's very few that do. I've been noticing that a lot more lately, but for the most part, the ones that are held, there's no equity involved. It's strictly you just pitch, they love your business, and they'll give you cash. It normally could be in a group of, in front of a group of people. It could be the investors. So think Shark Tank style, but maybe to a larger audience. And essentially what you'll be doing is you'll be telling them about your company. You'll be explaining what problem you're solving. You'll be explaining your revenue model. How are you making money? Is your business even profitable? It could be in the development stage where it's just a concept, it's just an idea, you didn't even launch yet, and you need the money to actually launch. Or it could be in the stage where, hey, I've launched and I need the money and I need to scale now because I've been selling so much of my product, I need to scale now. So those are things to definitely consider when you are pitching your business, to be clear on those things, because that's exactly what actually allows you to win. If you're clear on your concept, not just, hey, I have an idea and I think it's going to make money. Like, nobody wants to hear that, right? They want to know that you're clear and concise about what's going to make your business profitable. How are you going to make money? And even for non-for-profit, if your business is not profitable, then a non-profit, what is it accomplishing? What mission do you have? So you can still enter, if you're a non-for-profit business, to several funding or grants. But for the most part, I do see that there's a big deal where they're saying, they want to make sure your business is profitable. So I see a lot of time non-for-profits get left out because people really want to invest in business that's for profit. So that's something to consider when you are looking to go to these pitch. Make sure your business fits into what they're looking for. And then one thing I really wanted to start with was evaluate what you'll be getting out of this, whether you win or you lose. Because most of the times, like when I go to pitch competition, I'm always going to just build connection strategically, to build connection, network. Sometimes it's not even about you winning. Like sometimes it's about who's in the room. And I see so often that people go to pitch competitions and they're just so like focused on, I'm gonna win. If I don't win, this is the end. And they miss all the opportunities around them. And those opportunities are simply the people in the room, the people who you're pitching with. Your competition is your next connection, even if you don't win. Like, you want to be genuine with that. You want to genuinely get to know people. How can you connect with them? How can you benefit them? How, and vice versa, because you never know who they may know or who you may know to get them to the next level. And something that I see also too is when we're pitching or when we're preparing a pitch, most of the times you're not even in the same industry. So to me, that already for me is like a win-win, because it's like we really aren't in competition, but this one, like this present pitch competition that you're probably in. But for the most part, after you leave the competition, there's room for growth. There's room to really build a relationship where you could really both benefit from each other in a genuine way, of course. So I think we should always think about those things first. And like I said, when I go to pitch competition, like I'm always like, oh yeah, because I probably never really plan for like what I'm gonna say. So because I get so nervous, but I always want to connect with the person in the room, and I built some amazing relationships like that, because I was able to genuinely connect with those people in the room, and so it took the stress off of me pitching, because I'm like, if I don't win, it's fine. I've already met 5 sisters, I've met new besties, new friends. And so, I'm not reading comments. So yes, I think it's definitely important to make sure that you are, strategically looking at all. Hey, I don't know, I can't see who that is, but hey, thanks for joining. So make sure you are taking, you're taking those opportunities to connect and network and not miss out on those huge opportunities just to build relationships. That's very important, guys. So I want to make sure you're not, missing out on those opportunities because you're so set on competing. You want to make sure you are networking and connecting and building, because there's really never, like, yeah, you may not win the funding or whatever the prize is, but there really is never a loser. Like, you already have an established business, you already have an idea, so already you're a winner. And the amount of people that you're going to be exposed to while you're pitching, say you go to a pitch competition, it's 100 people in the room. Now that's 100 people that know about your business that never did. And you don't know who is in the room that could take you to the next level or say, hey, like, your pitch was so on point. I want to help you. Like, I know this person that could help you. Or, I know exactly who you need to connect with. And because I saw your pitch and it was so great, and I knew you wanted to win, and you were so determined, and you hit all the points, because what the judges might be looking for, to make you win, somebody else in the audience might hear, and they might just like, oh, this is exactly what I was looking for. Then there's oftentimes investors in the crowd, so you just never know. So always bring your best and be prepared to network after the event. That's like a major thing that I see a lot of people miss out on great opportunities because they don't network after. And I'm guilty of that too, because sometimes, you're bummed and you're like, you know what, I'm done. But trust me, the key is in the aftermath of networking and establishing those relationships. So definitely do that. When it comes to your pitch, your actual pitch, so these are a few things that the judges look for, right? And they'll tell you too. The great thing about any pitch competition, they'll tell you what they're looking for, and they'll probably even tell you a percentage on how they're going to judge you. So maybe they'll say, hey, 50% of your pitch is going to be based on your actual product. Maybe 30% is going to be based on your personality and how you pitch and how people like you. Maybe we'll have like a part of the the factor of actually judging you is have the audience vote. So maybe it's on the like factor. And maybe it'll say, hey, and 10% is actually on how your branding look. Like they'll be able to list exactly how they're going to judge you. And so you'll have a breakdown of that prior to your actual pitch. So you're able to see that and say, hey, you know what? I got this. This is my weak point. This is my strength. So I'm good at, like, my product is a bomb. I don't even need to explain it that much. But I get super nervous in front of the crowd. And that's a part of like what they're going to use to, divvy up the numbers and the votes. So let me focus more on that part, because I hate talking in front of a crowd, and I know I'm gonna be nervous and I'm gonna not, probably know what to say. So let me focus on that. So whatever your weaknesses and strengths are, like, break them down within the guidelines that they give you on how they're going to judge you. So you could focus more on what you need to focus on in terms of like the breakdown. If you're a good speaker, then you're like, okay, I got that. I'm gonna memorize everything. That part is easy, but my product is hard to explain. So let me focus on that. So you figure out what you need to focus on more, and then definitely focus on that. And then let's see, be an expert. Like, no one knows your product but you, right? No one knows your product but you. And oftentimes you can go up there and you could sell, say you're selling a candied apple, random. Say you're selling a candied apple and it's made out of chocolate and whatever. And you're selling that, and you go up there and you're like, hey, you know what? I make candied apples and inside it has chocolate. Like, no one knows what's inside but you, right? So it's your job to convince the audience and the judges on, you're the expert on your product. So I can't tell you what's inside your product. I can't tell you if it's bad or not. Your job is to convince the judges that your product is excellent, why it's excellent, what problem is it solving, how is it going to make, say, them money, or, how's it going to make you money? Why do you need this funding to take your business to the next level? Like, who is it going to help? So you're the expert. So if you don't know A to Z on your product, then no one is going to invest in you. So I think that's a key thing, like being an expert. And the great thing about being an expert in your product, or on your product rather, is that if you make a mistake, no one will know but you. And so oftentimes we are like, say you're pitching and you're probably like, you know what, this shirt that I make is blue. Oh, no, it's red. Like, no one knew it was blue or red. Like, you have to figure out how you're gonna, like, if you mess up during a live pitch, you're the expert. So you have the capability to just change the story, change like how the flow of it is going. The judges don't know. You're the expert. So I'm not saying go and tell a big old lie, but you're the expert and you get to articulate your product how you want to be able to sell the judges, for sure. Use some humor. Like, I'm so corny, but I always try to put some humor in it. And in my story of how we started our company is fun. It's funny. With my, well, it's not funny. Well, when my baby, she started teething at 2 months old. So I always use that story to start, like, moms, they go crazy when their babies are teething. And, hey, can you relate to that? And so everybody always, most of the audience, sometimes they aren't even parents, but they've heard about it. So they're like, oh, cheating. So, start off with something that people could relate to. It doesn't have to be funny, but it needs to be relatable to who you're pitching to. So once it's relatable, then it's easier for them to understand your product or your services. Because now they're like, oh yeah, I had that problem, so I would definitely start off with the problem first and add some humor to it. And then you go into why you started your business, why you're solving that problem. So I always start off with, what the problem was. The problem was my daughter started teething early. What was the solution? We created a teething glove that she was able to hold, unlike the traditional teethers. And so when she was able to hold the traditional the glove. She wasn't able to hold a traditional teeter, and she's not able to just self-suit herself with the glove. It's like right away, people got it, regardless if they were parents or not. They got it because they're like, oh yeah, that's smart. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then everything else, goes into like the monetary breakdown. Like, is it really profitable? Is it just like a niche idea or cliche or whatever? So definitely definitely be open to that in terms of stating the problem and how you're going to figure it out, how you're solving that problem. Then I would go into, so this is a question I got on our last live, and someone asked me, should you be paying for pitch competitions? Should you be paying to pitch at a pitch competition? So based on experience, the answer is no. The answer is no. I would suggest that you don't pay. Why? Why? All the pitch competitions that I've entered and I did not pay, they paid me my money when I won fast. They paid me fast. It was a very professional setup. I didn't have to go back and forth with that company or group or whatever. The process was professional. And it's funny because the one time that I did pay a fee, and it was like a small fee, like I think it was like $25 or something to enter. But the one time I did pay, I had issues after when I did win. And I think that's a red flag too, because if you think about it, you're seeking funding for your business, to start your business, to, get your business to the next level. So obviously you're seeking some type of monetary funding. So so for someone or an organization to want you to take money to put into their pitch competition, it should bring sort of a red flag, because it's like, wait, you should have the money to like be paying me straight up after I win. What is my little $25 or what is this fee gonna do for you? Like, what is, what should I do for you? Show you that I'm serious, that you're serious about me pitching, or it just didn't add up. So definitely think about that. So for me, personal experience, I don't recommend that you pay to pitch your product to anyone. And make sure you read over the agreements. You normally sign an agreement to participate either when you actually go into pitch and after you might sign an agreement. So whatever agreement you sign, whether it's in pitch competition or generally in business, make sure you guys are reading those agreements, because some of them are sneaky, and they'll even say, okay, you'll win 10K plus equity. So you want to be clear on what are your rewards. When you win, am I just winning straight up cash, or do you want a piece of my company? So you want to be clear on the actual rewards on what you're winning, because you don't want to get like caught off guard, afterwards, and you're like, oh man, I thought it was just like straight up cash. I didn't know I had to give a percentage of my company, or I didn't know the reward was not $10,000 in cash and it was $10,000 in service. You want to be very, very clear on what the expected reward is. When you are pitching and explaining when you're pitching and explaining your product, you want to explain your target audience. You want to be clear on who are you going to sell to. And most of the times we go like, yeah, I'm going to sell this product to everyone. But you're not going to sell your product to everyone. You're just selling it to, you need to be clear on your target audience. So definitely be clear on that. The little one is up. Definitely want to be clear on, your audience, your revenue model, like how much money are you making? Is it profitable? What stage are you in? Are you just in the startup stage? Are you in the idea stage where you just have an idea and you're like, okay, I have this idea and it's going to be this big idea. I'm going to make all this money. You need to have that clearly outlined. Okay, you're going to get all this money. You're going to make all this money, but if I give you that $10,000, how are you going to flip it? Like, how are you going to reinvest it in your company to make 100K or whatever your projections are? You need to be very clear, because oftentimes we'll go up there and we're like, yeah, so next year I'm on target to make $2 million. And they're like, well, how did you get to that number? Like, you need to be clear. Like, how many products are you going to sell? Or how many products do you need to sell to get to that $2 million? You need to be very clear. And if you're clear, what that does for the judges is they know, okay, she's serious about her business. She knows her numbers. They're very big on you knowing your numbers, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So if you don't know your numbers, they won't know it for you. So you definitely have to be clear on your numbers and how it's gonna, in the end, how you're gonna reinvest that monetary reward that they're gonna give you. If you're doing a competition for 100K and you're like, hey, this competition for 100K, what I'm gonna do with that 100K is I'm gonna reinvest it into a manufacturing plant, or I'm going to order more inventory for my products for the up and coming holiday, the busy season, whatever it is. You need to be clear on that. So once you're clear on that, then it's going to be very easy for the judges to say, okay, that sounds practical. Like, if she's selling $100 million worth of product now, and she's saying in a few months she needs to scale to the next level because she has all this product to order, that makes sense. Okay, we're going to invest in her, because we know once we invest in her, that money is going to be, flipped several times. So you want to be clear on exactly what you are going to use the funding for. Otherwise, nobody's going to buy it. So definitely make sure you're clear on that. And the main thing, so the number one question I always get, like, how are you finding these pitch competition? Hey, and so how am I finding these pitch competitions? Guess what? It's so easy. Who could guess? If you're listening right now, put in the comment box, how do you think I'm finding these pitch competitions? Put it in the comment box. What did you miss? You didn't miss a lot. I just went through the necessary questions they'll ask, the steps, what to expect, what to look for when it comes to pitching. What are the judges looking for? But I want you guys now to put in the comment box, if you are looking for pitch competition, where should you be looking? Where do you guys think I find all these pitch competitions that I've entered? Where do you think I found those pitch competitions? And it's really not it's not a hard answer. And I'm seeing them coming in. Hey guys, thanks for joining. And you guys, guess some of you guys are just coming in, so I'll go over some of the things. But where are you guys? So 100% of you are saying Google. And ding, 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 the answer is indeed Google. So it is Google. I find most of my pitch competition in one, Google, and two, in other groups. I'll see people post in other groups like, hey, there's a pitch competition coming up. Here it is. And then nobody, it's so funny because when I see those posts, no one is like commenting on it. Nobody is like looking at it, or they'll bookmark it and then they'll never go back. What I do is, as soon as I see an opportunity, I literally just, Google is the answer. I literally just go online and I just apply it right away. Sometimes I don't even have all the information they need, but it's better to start the process and then probably, send yourself a reminder like, hey, you finish this application today, deadline. Because most of the times when you do see these opportunities, there's a deadline. It's not like, hey, it's 2 months from now. No, it's like probably yesterday you needed to fill it out. So you always want to make sure that you need my phone? I need it. You always want to make sure that you are, you made me lose my train of thought, babe. You always want to make sure that you are signing up for these competition right away. Not, like I'm gonna come back to it. I literally just pull out my phone and I start the application right away, because it's a matter of you're gonna miss that opportunity. And if it does, I mean, if you sign up and you don't get a response back, then it's literally on you, to just follow back up or know, okay, what I also do. So, okay, let me go through the process. So when I'm looking, I go on Google and I sign it. I'll either do local. So I'll say, hey, I'll search what's the next pitch competition in New York. New York really doesn't have a lot of like regular pitch competition for product-based companies. It's more so tech. So if you're in the tech space, there's literally a pitch competition for you guys every week, every day. Like, I just want to create a tech product just to enter pitches. So if you are in that space, there's definitely money being left on the table, and they're not doing like $5,000. They're doing like $100K, $1 million. Sorry, look. They're doing like, they're doing big money because it's very expensive to develop any kind of tech product or tech-based services or whatever. So I go to Google and right? And you're going to see a lot of tech pitch competition. So Bianca, you need to get up on those. If you're listening, get up on those because you're in tech. So yeah, you see a lot of tech company, but here's what and I'll tell you what I found out about that, because I saw that too, and I was just like, really, nobody cares about this product-based business. So when I go to Google, I'll look, and there's a lot of blog posts too that people will like do like a blog review or a blog post on pitch competition you should be looking forward to or entering. So what I'll do is I'll go, and if I missed an opportunity or a window, I'll just jot it down in my planner. So I have the Whose Shoes Are You Wearing planner. So what I'll do, because I go through it year to year, I'll just jot it down. And now, for example, when I first saw the FedEx competition, I missed it the first year when I saw it. So what I did was like, okay, I know it's every time around the same time every year. So say around March, April. So what I did was I just jotted down in my planner and on my phone, on my calendar, and I just put a note like, okay, please remind yourself to look into the FedEx grant coming up, the FedEx competition coming up. So what that did, right, that planner is go. So what that does is when I go back to review my calendar for the year, and I go back through my notes and all that I've accomplished, I immediately see that note and I put it in my calendar for the upcoming year. So as soon as that month begins, I'm able to see that and say, hey, I missed that competition last year. Let me go check into it now. And then I'll probably even, like, you can even call the organization to say, hey, you had a pitch competition last year. Unfortunately, I missed it. Do you have one coming up again this year? And they'll let you know. And then you'll be like, hey, do you have an email list you could put me on? So you can do all those things if you're really like serious about the pitching, like pitching and getting some money. And once they see like you're serious too, they'll look out for you. They'll be like, oh yeah, it's going to be such and such. Make sure you sign up. We're going to send out notification beginning such and such. So you want to put an effort into finding these competition. So I know FedEx has one, UPS, so these like major corporations have them annually. They don't miss a beat. Black Enterprise has one. There's several organizations that have them annually and they're well known. So definitely just put that on your, like, it's like, that's like literally, guys, that's goal. Like if you're dedicated to like finding pitches and you want to be on top of it, because what makes most of us miss them is just the date, because you're like so focused on what's going on in your business and you already have different deadlines, your personal deadline with your kids in your calendar and, personal things. And then you're like, I'm not thinking about a pitch competition. And most of the times when people see them, they'll just be like, you know what, I'm going to enter. I'm not going to share this because if I share this, then other people are going to enter. And so you won't see shared a lot. Which the only good thing about that is some of them, like say the FedEx, some of the incentive to enter in is you have to share that you're a part of it. So then that's when you'll get to see that's when you'll get to see, like, okay, she entered, darn it, I missed it, or darn it, I still have time. The deadline is such and such. Let me jump on that. So definitely use that tip to put anything that you've missed this year that you're like, darn, I wanted to enter this year and I missed it. Put it on your calendar for next year and remind yourself to enter. Like, it really works, and you'll be ahead of the game. You'll have your pitch together, see what their requirements are. So if they require a pitch deck, start preparing that pitch deck to have. If they require your bio, a professional picture, your company logo, your company's bio is different from yours. So if they require those things, have it set aside in a folder. So once a competition comes up, you just upload everything and you're good to go. So definitely do that. And I'm gonna go right down because I know it's so kind of fast. I'm going through them. Yep, and I find pitch competitions through social media too. So social media, and you can use hashtags are great. So if you want, you could go to social media. Say you want to go to Instagram, and you could just search the hashtag pitch competitions, see what comes up, and if it's something that you qualify for, put it on your calendar to remind yourself. Or if it's coming up, enter it. Like, there's never any loss in entering it, for sure. Yep, Google is the answer. Hey, Danita. Yep, make sure you fill out the application right away. So someone else said, that's all I see here is tech competition. I was like, sheesh. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, okay, so that's the point I wanted to make. When I see the tech competition, I was like, darn, like, why is there so much tech competition? Like, nobody cares about a service, product-based businesses or even service-based businesses. And what I found out is you can actually include or say your product is a tech product if you are selling online. So believe it or not, because we sell online, majority of us probably, we sell on our website, your company then becomes, then is considered a tech-based company because you sell online. I learned that from Kimberly from Curl Mix. So if you are like that, you can literally put that on the application and say, hey, yeah, I'm a tech company that sells baby products online, because you sell baby products online. So that's just a tip. Not everyone takes that though. Some are like, yeah, you gotta have a tech company, but some of them you can pass with that. And I entered that once. I need to keep doing it and gain visibility for anything in practice speaking. Yep. And it's not like, for me, when I started, I wish I started pitching when I started our company, not two years in or 3 years in. I wish I started when I literally push the live button on my website, because that's when you're fresh. That's when people want to see you. People want to support you. They want to give you visibility. So you want to start as soon as possible and start gaining visibility, because the more pitch competitions you enter, the more people start knowing about your brand, the more exposure you get. And sometimes it's never about just winning the cash prize. It's amazing to win the cash prize. Of course we want to, but like I tell you guys earlier, the goal is really in the connection and the network that you do at the event or after the event. So make sure that you're not just looking at it like, hey, I'm just going to pitch and that's it. And I'm going through. And by the way, I do share like every single pitch competition that I'm going to enter or I come across. I share it in my newsletter. So be sure that you're signed up for our newsletter, because I'll just drop it in there like a quick email like, hey, did you know about this event? I actually did that earlier, like a few months ago too. I entered a really amazing pitch competition, one of the best ones I entered, and it was in my email. And I met a few of you guys at like events that I was at, and I shared it with you guys, and most of you guys entered. So for me, like, I have no issues like sharing that information, because if it's meant for me to win, it's meant for me. And if it's meant for you, it's meant for you. And I think I'm pretty catched up, but for some reason, this is not showing me all your comments. I'm probably gonna have to go on my phone too. But yeah, guys, make sure you are pitching as much as possible. And just, okay, so a tip for my introverts, because I hear this a lot, like, you know what, I'm shy, I don't like speaking, I mess up on my words. If you want to be out there being an expert on your product, especially if you're the face of your company, or you know it's difficult for people to really explain what you do and what your company is about, you want to be out there pitching, because then it helps you to get better at articulating like what your brand is about, who you serve, who your ideal client is. Once you start pitching more, people are able to see that and say, okay, I keep seeing her, she's really about her business, and they'll support you more. They'll reach out to you, they'll share more opportunities with you. So you want to keep, just going out there and doing them as much as possible. And then lastly, one thing I'll share is, because like any good thing, some things come to an end, right? And so for me, I've won like a lot of money in pitch competition, but for me, at some point, it comes to a point where, when do you stop pitching? Because you can't pitch forever. Because then the thing with the pitching world is it's so small, and so you're kind of pitching to the same audience most of the times, or you're pitching to the same organization, or an organization that knows another organization. So it's the same people, same circle. So at some point, it comes to an end where, okay, when do I step back from pitching? When do you step back from pitching? When people are tired of seeing your face, they're like, girl, wasn't you at that pitch competition last, wasn't you at that one? Did I see you last week? No, but you can literally pitch as much as you want, but there's gonna definitely come a time when even the judges, they'll let you know, like, hey, you kind of outgrown pitching, like you need to move on to the next step. You need to get an investor. You need to, secure some larger chunks of money. Like, this funding world ain't for you anymore. So there does come that point. And so that's why I always tell you guys, make sure if you start now and you get as much as you can now, versus, when people are like tired of you, like, hey, girl, I saw you the other day, like, you was just pitching here. So you want to get the most of it while you can, and take advantage of that while you can, because that's important. Start now, not tomorrow, and enjoy the process. Enjoy the process while it lasts. And if you guys have any questions, because I'm about to drop out now, shoot your questions in the comments section, and I'll also come back and look if I miss any of your questions, and I'll answer them below. But if you have any questions now, you can ask them. And I know I didn't give you guys enough time to come on to see me live. This is kind of spontaneous to come on because I missed yesterday. I normally go live on Tuesdays, but I missed yesterday. So I said, let me just hop on tonight. And so all I did is I promised you guys I would to come and talk a little bit about pitching. And I'll probably have, because I have a few of you guys in here that are really good at it. So I think a great exercise would be some live pitching where we come in and we actually do like a live pitching to show you guys, what I've done, what other experts in here have done, and see how that works and if that helps you. But this was fun. Thanks for joining. And if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comment below. If you guys learn anything from this live, please let me know in the comment below and let me know what you want to see me do more live videos of, so I can be of help to you and a resource to you. And make sure you guys are tuned in and you're, all the way catch up on the podcast episodes. We've done a few episodes in regards to this very topic of, pitch competitions and all that, anything related to business. So if you're new to the group, welcome to all the newbies. I just added a few of you guys today. So welcome. I'm happy to have you here. And the only rule we have is participation is key. And to help out the community, this is a community where you give, not just take, no matter what stage you are in business. So make sure you are providing resources for others in here, and make sure you're giving back to everyone in the group. We appreciate that. We appreciate you guys commenting. We appreciate you guys taking the time of your day to visit this page and to show love. You guys have been showing me love. I've been messaging me, and I'm going to get back to all your messages. For some reason, I guess if we're not friends, I don't see your messages until like way later, probably too late. But I'm going to catch up on your messages. And you guys, if you have any specific questions, you can always email me, info@dreamsinspirereality. Again, to the newbies, welcome to the group. And to anyone who is listening, and if you want to find out more about us, definitely visit our website at dreamsinspirereality.com. And I'll see you then. Ta-ta!